What's going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back for another Dominaria United pre-release kit opening. So, I did 4 of these previously, which you can definitely go and check out on this channel for yourself, but I did all 4 in one video. Now we are at the point where I'm going to do 4 more, but that is going to be 1 per video. We will be giving away the code to MTG Arena from this kit at some random point in the video, so stay tuned for that if that is something that you are interested in. Reminder that if you've already used a code, this one will not work for you, but, you know, we'll get there. The D20 is the white die, which is cool. Actually, I have the other ones right over here. I probably should have set them up, but I was able to get one of every color, not on camera, but turns out when you go to events and stuff, you get to trade with people, especially for dice. And so for me, as somebody who opens a lot of kits, it's very rare for me to not get all 5 of the dice, mainly because, or I should say mainly when there are events going on, right, and you can be with other people. During the pandemic and the lockdowns and stuff, when I was just buying whatever we could buy, you know, however many kits I was getting at that time. Some of the sets I did not complete, but I can always go back and try at some point in the future, who knows. But anyway, let's get to the opening itself. Obviously, that is why we are here. You can see the packs. Leave those off on the side. We do have, as promised, I mentioned it already, the code for MTG Arena. Somewhere along the way, you will be seeing that. We have the divider that is included in there. Again, I showed this in the long video as well. And we have the insert for how to make a pre-release deck, or at least some advice on how to make a pre-release deck. But on the other side, something that we did not get to read in the longer video because, you know, we were trying to make it somewhat shorter, is we have this little Dominaria United insert that discusses some of the Legends / Planeswalkers, because I would say just Planeswalkers, but Danitha and Joda are not Planeswalkers. So let's read 2 of them. And we have, for this one, Joda. I guess we can read Joda and Ajani. So Ajani starts first. Leonin Planeswalker with healing and protective powers. Stalwart friend, mentor, and defender of the weak. Well, sort of. Not forever, though. Then we have Joda, a 4,000-year-old immortal archmage who's hungry to learn, has acquired knowledge from all corners of Dominaria. So stay tuned for more of the videos. I'll read more of those little things. I was about to open a pack, but Joe, there's a promo foil rare right here in front of you, and it is a Yavimaya Coast, which actually looks pretty sick in foil, if I do say so myself. That's really cool looking. I like that. Very shiny, bright art. You know, Amy usually comments when we do these videos that the foils are very dark. This one is very bright. Very bright. Wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so there is the Yavimaya Coast. We'll leave that on the side. It doesn't really help us out a ton, because even if it fixes our mana, it does not help with Domain, which is a little unfortunate. But, you know, if we need green and blue, or we need to splash green or blue and are playing the other color, that land will certainly get in. It's just, you know, not something I'm jumping up and down for playability's sake. We have a Hammerhand, Urborg Repossession, Tolarian Terror, Juniper Order Root Weaver, a Vanquisher's Axe, Broken Wings, Meteorite, Idyllic Beachfront. Okay, so now we've got blue-white as well. Good to keep track of. A Tolarian Geyser. Speaking of blue and white, this card is very good. Very, very good. We have the Weatherseed Treaty also helping to go get lands, fixing, etc. So that's good. That's our first uncommon. Knight of Dawn's Light is the second. This is also a very good card. And Nail, Avizoa Aeronaut. Not to lie, our green, white, and blue are actually looking pretty good, despite, you know, not just because of the lands, but it's pretty sick. And which means our first non-promo, rare or mythic, is And Urza assembles the Titans. Now, this is a white card. I was talking about how good our white looks. This one does not look as good. We probably would need 2 Planeswalkers in our deck for this card to even be something I would consider, because, you know, it cares about Planeswalkers. And in Limited, that's almost always not a thing. We shall see. Like I said, we might get lucky. In fact, speaking of getting lucky, we have a foil back here, and it is... Ooh, a foil mythic. What's up? In Solkanar the Tainted. Now, notably, this is in Grixis colors, so no green and no white, despite what we were talking about before. The foiling pattern is kind of whatever. Like, this background is cool. But Solkanar, the Elemental Demon, as a mythic. I do not have this card yet, so having it in pack foil is pretty sick. I'm okay with that. Very nice. Yeah, like I said, I don't love the foiling, but the card is cool. Oh, right. We ended up using this in our early access event, because I did not read what Solkanar did. This one's tough and limited. I guess with black and red and blue, you are hoping that this is in a deck with, like, sack outlets, so that then you can sack this before it gets to that last ability, because, you know, giving this to your opponent feels real bad. Anyway, behind Solkanar, we have a mountain and a soldier token. So, I mean, I'm happy to have a foil mythic, but like I said, if we don't have the right assist for it, then it's probably not playable. Anyway. We have, as always, I want to know people's opinions in the comments down below. And what I typically do with these, by the way, if people are unfamiliar, let me know what kind of a deck you would make out of this thing once you see what we've got so far. Or I should say at the end. We have a Talus Lookout, a Charismatic Vanguard, a Snare Spinner, very bright arts on these, Enthrall to the Pit, Tattered Apparition, Tidepool Turtle, an Automatic Librarian, Flowstone Infusion, a Haunted Mire. Okay, so black and green. Very good. We'll keep that on the side. We have another Meteorite. Protect the Negotiators is our first uncommon. Frost Fist Strider is the second. I love this guy so much. And, ooh, wow, talk about blue and white. Damn. We have the showcase art, Tura Kennerud Sky Knight. This card is interesting. I mean, it wants to be in a spells deck, obviously, but, you know, I've heard making birds in this format is pretty good, 1/1 birds, so very, very interesting. And that means, because this is not our rare or mythic, we still have that, our rare or mythic in this pack is another mythic in Weatherlight Completed. Now, notably, if we are playing some type of a sacrifice deck, that makes this card even better. It is a 2-mana 5/5 flyer, but of course, until 4 of your creatures die while this is on the field, it doesn't do much. I mean, you get to, yeah, no, it doesn't do much. Like I said, until it gets to at least 4. But there are things like bounce or, you know, sack effect or destruction effects, things like that. So you could, like, put a bunch into this and then nothing comes of it. But I guess for a 2-mana investment, that's probably not the worst thing in the world. I don't know. Again, I want to know people's thoughts in the comments down below. Behind the Weatherlight Completed, we have a gorgeous Plains art. Shoutouts to Magali Villeneuve. So good. I mean, my God. And a Saproling token. I mean, 2 mythics in 2 packs seems okay with me. You know, when we did our 4 kits that we opened, I felt like it was a little underpowered. I was talking to some folks about it. But this one is kind of proving me wrong, which, I mean, I'm not complaining. We have a Toxic Abomination, Impulse, Take Up the Shield, Floriferous Vine Wall, a Furious Bellow, Shadow Prophecy, Shield Wall Sentinel, Thrill of Possibility, Magnagoth Sentry, Tribute to Urborg, Relic of Legends is our first uncommon. Again, if we're playing multiple, like, more than 2 colors, this could get in to help us fix our mana in some capacity. A Strength of the Coalition. He knows who he is, but I played a guy who had 3 of these in his deck at pre-release, and I did not win, because how could you with 3 of these? Very, very good card. And a Fires of Victory as well, which means that our next rare or mythic is a Namata Primeval Warden. So, I mean, we have the Haunted Mire for this as well, to help cast this, I should say. This is a very cool card. So if we're able to be in black and have some removal, that we can like get some of their creatures and get them off the board and things like that. It also works with green with Pump, so that if we're attacking a bunch and they're blocking, and they, you know, we have combat tricks or things like that, or things to save our creatures, or we don't care if our creatures die, like the Weatherlight Completed wants us to. That's pretty cool. And then behind Namata, we have an island and a beast token. We're only about halfway through, but we have this code for MTG Arena. So as I was saying earlier, it's not our call. This is Wizards' decision or Arena's decision or what have you. But if you have already used a code from a Dominaria United pre-release kit, this code will not work for you. It's 1 per account, so be aware of that. And if this code does work for you, feel free to shout it out in the comments. We would love to congratulate you, and it helps out your fellow viewers to know if the code has already been taken. But this is our small way of saying thank you for watching all of our stuff. We really hope everybody is enjoying everything that we are putting out on this channel, as well as our other channels. Links down in the description box below. Do not forget, whichever one you are on, that we would appreciate it if you want to see more from us. Make sure that you are subscribed and you have that bell rung so that you don't miss out on a single video, or when we go live on this channel every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we have a Battlefly Swarm, a Pixie Illusionist, a Griffin Protector, Vine Shaper Prodigy, Goblin Picker, Aggressive Sabotage, Smash to Dust, Mesa Cavalier, Essence Scatter, Contaminated Aquifer. Okay, so again, kind of leaning into the Sultai coloration, for our lands at least. A Cult Conscript is our first uncommon. Cut Down is the second. I genuinely have mixed feelings on this one. I've had this card in my hand where everything on my opponent's side that is beating me down and killing me can't be targeted by this, and I've had situations where this is just an amazing card and stops their strategy in its tracks. So it's kind of tough. I guess it works pretty well against the Defender's deck, like the Defender strategy, which is, again, pretty good, because this gets everything but like Blight Pile, right? The 3/3. Maybe it doesn't get the 2/4, but that's not like one of the game enders, right? You're looking for the 1/4 Coral Colony, the 3/3 Blight Pile, and the 0/3 that makes birds. So this gets 2 out of 3 of those, which is pretty good. And we have Tatiova, Steward of Tides, again, working towards that Sultai theme. I like it. It's a pretty good one. And so our next rare or mythic is a Defiler of Flesh. It is one of the Defilers. It's obviously not the green one, so it's not the best, but it's not bad either. Giving something +1/+1 and Menace makes it a lot harder to block, obviously. So very, very cool with this Defiler of Flesh. Behind it, no foil, but a gorgeous forest. I mean, again, my God. And a Phyrexian token. 2 more packs to go. I mean, again, Sultai seems good. I'm looking at that, and it sounds pretty all right to me. I don't know about all of you guys, but as always, that's what the comments are for. I like this card. Coalition Warbrute. Battlefly Swarm, very good. Timely Interference. Juniper Order Root Weaver. Death Bloom Gardener, very nice. Molten Monstrosity. A Tolarian Geyser again. So notably, right, if we're talking about Sultai, or to be fair, if we're talking about Grixis, either way, we're not talking about white, and I would still play both of the Tolarian Geysers. You're still paying 3 mana to bounce something back to a hand. It could be one of your creatures as well, but it could be one of their creatures. And you still get to draw a card. The only thing you're missing out on with the white is gaining 3 life, which, to be fair, is very good if you have the ability to use it. But if you don't, that does not make this card unplayable. So, yeah, I would definitely include, I think we only have 2 so far, but I would definitely include both of the Tolarian Geysers. Another Shield Wall Sentinel, another Magnagoth Sentry, another Thrill of Possibility, a Sprouting Goblin is our first uncommon, Fires of Victory again is the second, and a Bortuck Bone Rattle, very, very nice for Sultai, is the third. And so my next rare or mythic is a Karplusan Forest. It's another Painland. So we have the Yavimaya Coast. Now we have the Karplusan Forest. I mean, again, I have always said that opening up the rare lands in pre-release kits doesn't feel as good because, you know, it's nicer to open up like bomb rares. This could help fix. In our case, right now it doesn't. And that's kind of the thing with the rare lands is that if it's like, representing like 2 or 3 colors, you're kind of rolling the dice when you get it as to whether or not you're going to play those colors or not, or whether it's just a dead rare, which always feels bad. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, do you understand why it feels worse for it to be a land versus like a rare that you can't play, right? If we opened a white mythic, it would feel bad too because we don't have anything pulling us towards white right now. But why does it feel worse when it's a land? I don't know. Like I said, if you have thoughts, leave it in the comments. Or if you maybe disagree. We have a mountain behind that and a bird token. 1 pack to go. In this video, as always, I want to know what folks would play out of this kit. We obviously have to wait to see what this pack has for us, if it will ever open. Are you kidding? Good God. Did not want to cooperate. Okay. We start with another Coalition Warbrute. Good God. Another Battlefly Swarm. This card is very good. Another Timely Interference. This pack looks oddly familiar. Another Juniper Order Root Weaver. Yep. Another Deathbloom. Good Lord. Molten Monstrosity. Automatic Librarian. Flowstone Infusion. These are all duplicates from other packs. Another Haunted Mire. Okay, here's something different. Jeez. A Coalition Sky Knight. And of course, it's in white, which is like the only color we haven't considered in any capacity. A Blight Pile. I was just talking about you. God, I don't know that we can make Defenders work with just this one, right? We haven't seen either of the other ones. Yeah, I don't think we can. Like, even though we have the 2 1/4s, the artifacts that search for them, I don't think this is really where we want to be. Even though that's a very good strategy, I just don't think that this kit is there for it, to be honest. A Line Breaker Baloth. This one definitely gets in. This card's nuts. Which means our final, unless we get lucky with like a foil, but our final rare or mythic is Aster, Bearer of Blades. I'm not a big fan of this card. It's fine at best. It's a 4-mana 4/4. Sure. It cares about vehicles. Now, notably, actually, because this is stupid, right? I'm not actually advocating for this, but just FYI, because we have the Weatherlight completed, we can put this Aster and the Weatherlight into our deck, and the Weatherlight would have crew 1, which would make it a creature. So you could play the Weatherlight completed on turn 2, Aster on turn 4, and tap a 1-powered creature, crew the Weatherlight, and attack with a 5/5 on turn 4. Just saying. That feels like a lot, and it is, which is why I said I'm only slightly considering it. But anyway, let's see what else is in this pack. I do think there is a foil, and it is a foil rare in the Vidalian Hexcatcher. That is sweet too. I mean, interesting. I'm gonna have to get Amy's opinion on this, because the foiling pattern looks cool to me, but I'm not sure if it's too dark or not. I'll have to get the expert in on it and ask Amy what she thinks. Interesting. And of course, you know, all of you experts out there, and by that I mean literally anybody who feels that they have an opinion, let me know in the comments. This is supposed to be a very good card for, you know, other formats that are not sealed. So, you know, I'm happy to have opened this, and depending on if we have other random incidental merfolks, I might play it, but I doubt it. But still very happy to have this foil rare Vidalian Hexcatcher. Very, very cool. Cool foils in this kit. Behind it, a forest and a Phyrexian token. I guess I'm going to just leave you looking at our 2 foils, right? I mean, they were pretty sick. We did open 2 mythics in this kit, in this pool, but I'm not going to show you the Weatherlight. I'm just going to show you these 2, because, you know, they're flashy and fancy and whatnot. So, yeah, enjoy looking at those. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I really hope everybody enjoyed. Please feel free, like I said, to leave your thoughts down in the comments below about anything about this video. What deck you would make, what you think of what I opened. Did I open like a Luxac? Did I open poorly? Would you go Sultai? Because I still think I would. With our land combined with the cards that we opened, I don't think Sulcanar, while I think it's a great card, I mean, it's a 5-mana 5/5 that lets you do 3 cool things. Then you have to give it to your opponent. And in sealed, games tend to go longer. If they choose to like mitigate the 5 damage from it for 3 turns, then they just get this card if you can't sacrifice it. So that feels kind of bad. But regardless, I want to know, like I said, what you think. So please feel free to let me know. Don't forget, as I mentioned, to subscribe and ring that bell. We also have those other channels, Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All. Links down in the description box below, so definitely go check that out. We have some cool series going on over on Video Games for All, and Amy does some amazing stuff over on Gluten Free for All. 1 new video a month over there, 3 new videos a week over on Video Games for All. So lots of stuff for you to enjoy. I mentioned our live streams Mondays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Mondays, if you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, we play Magic the Gathering on Arena for Magic Monday. So we would love to have you join us. Hop in chat as always. We would love to hear from you. But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe. And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.